us get into the issues to elaborate it in a very friendly manner. First and foremost, the importance of this press statement or this press conference is to let the South Sudanese and all the parties to understand that there is no any other way that these agreements can move forward apart from accepting and initiating dialogue among the parties. Because by doing so, we will at least save this country from a status of losing its legitimacy, would have saved this country to a status where they can be able to hold elections at the end of the transition. But how things are in today, the environment is not friendly and therefore will add no value. We, the OPP, do believe that irrespective of whatever grievances each party has, there must be there a right or there must be there a forum to accept dialogue and negotiate. Yes, we have seen of late through some of the peace spoilers, which I will mention some of them later by names. We have seen status whereby there are parties or one party is rejecting, is not willing to initiate or engage in dialogue with the other party. We need to be logic and we need to be very practical and honest with ourselves. If I have an issue, if I have a complaint as OPP against any of the parties or against all these parties, I cannot be the complainer. I cannot at the same time become the police, the investigator, and then at the same time I'm also there to render justice for myself. No. You must have a third, a neutral body that can clearly define your rights, state out your rights. So we encourage all parties to accept dialogue, to come out clearly with issues that they feel these are the clear issues we feel as a party. We have the rights, and our rights has been violated by any of the parties to the agreement. And that right can be violated and can be discussed. Because as long as we have this agreement, and we do believe that the agreement exists and the government legitimacy is still enshrined into this agreement, then we must dialogue. Because an agreement, even from a concept of a primary student, means two parties or one party, two parties or more have come to agree in a particular issue. So there is no way we can hold into agreement and say, yes, the agreement exists, the agreement is not off, and yet we reject and refuse to dialogue. So the stance of the OPP, and we call on all South Sudanese, irrespective of their place, to advocate for the parties to the RRCs to sit down through what we have proposed, the Juba initiative of the parties, to address issues related to implementation of the agreements and return back to the full implementation of the agreements in order to save the country future and end the transition towards elections. I also wanted to clearly actually articulate in a very clear sense that some of those issues, particularly we have observed as OPP, from the beginning until today, is basically the implementation of the RRCs of the agreement. There are some individuals that have interpreted this agreement into their own ways, which is not what we agreed, either in Addis, either in Khartoum, and until today. This has been a big issue. For instance, the agreement is very clear when it comes to each parties. The first party is the SPLM, is called the IG. That is the government that is in place, which actually composed of three groups. It composed of the former government of the Republic of South Sudan. It composed